Well, hi everyone. I'm John Redland with a review of two movies that I just watched, Lights Out and Vivarium. I liked one of these a whole lot more than the other. But like any multi-film review that I do, there will be spoilers throughout. So let's start out with Lights Out, from the director of this, Annabelle Creation. I fucking love Annabelle Creation. I know that other people didn't. And I'm not saying that the movie was a fucking world beater, but compared to, the advertisements and how much I hated Annabelle, compared to that movie, and compared to Annabelle Comes Home, this movie is fucking fantastic. So I was looking forward to seeing how good this was. Now, yes, this did come out a few years ago, in 2016 to be exact. Maria Bello, Teresa Palmer are in this. And this tells the story of a family that is basically haunted by a creature named Diana that has a hold of the mother, played by Maria Bello. And this creature will do anything, this demonic spirit, this, evil entity will do anything it can to exist and basically terrorize this family and will not allow its existence to be eliminated. I was excited to see this movie because I had heard quite a bit about it and that it was expedient with its scares and that it actually was, it was quick. It was like just about 80 minutes with end credits. And it was also based on a short film that the director also did. So I was like, okay, if he did the short film and he can manage to stretch it out into a full-length feature and actually make it interesting, then all the credit to him. Now, the movie is by no means perfect. It is very simple in the fact that you have Teresa Palmer's character, Rebecca, trying to basically get away from her past, help out her younger brother. But, she lost her stepdad. He lost his dad recently. And, there's a family divide. But Maria Bello's character is haunted by this creature that has found a way to worm its way into her head and is basically the spirit of a girl, Diana, who had a very rare skin condition that died in a very, very tragic experiment that went horribly awry. She couldn't be in any light, hence the title Lights Out. Also, Teresa Palmer has a boyfriend character who wants to be with her. She's kind of at odds because she was also haunted by this demon, Diana. And what follows is a good amount of scares and actually some pretty good atmosphere. Now, yes, it's a simple concept. You have to stay in the light. You have to keep the lights on or otherwise Diana will get you. And that's pretty much the basis of this. Now, is it stereotypical? Is it cliche? Yes. But the way it presents its scares, the way it, moves its plot along, it actually does it in some pretty creative ways. It is by no means a landscape-changing movie. It is by no means a perfect movie. It's by no means even a great movie. But I had a lot of fun with this. And as the movie gets more towards the end, they try to find a way to, help the mother and everything, because the mother needs to be on meds to get more clear-headed so Diana can't keep beating her down. Maybe they can get rid of her. And it seems like, oh, Diana's going to kill everybody. And then, nope, the mother says, hey, you can't exist without me. And the mother ends up offing herself. And that's pretty much the end of the movie right there. Now, it seems like I'm skipping over some finer details of the plot. Not really, because there really isn't a lot to this plot, but it does have some good scares. And the characters, while one note, the acting is pretty well done. And it's always nice to see a horror movie that knows what it is quick about it, and is over in, a quick amount of time. So I definitely got to say a B. It is fun. It has some good scares. It made me jump a couple times. Maybe that's just because, I wanted to just be invested in, and I was just a little bit surprised by a couple of the jump scares. So maybe they weren't scary. Maybe it's just the noises, and these jump scares caught me off guard, but that's pretty much it. So we go with a B, and now we move on to Vivarium. So I had heard about this one. You have Imogen Poots, and I can't help but laugh at that last name, Jesse Eisenberg, and they are a couple that want to get a house. Basically, they're happy together and everything, and within the first about 10 minutes, they are in, some weird realtor place, and there's a character by the name of Martin that's all happy-go-lucky and very, very smiley and very, very creepy and everything, and he's a fucking alien. He's a fucking alien, or he's something, or he's a government experiment or something. These two end up, it's Gemma and Tom, Imogen and Jesse. They end up in this development called Yonder, all over the Yonder plains. Oh, what yonder wonders await, or basically it's a giant, row and collection of houses that all look the same. They're the only ones there, and it's an experiment to see if they can drive the people insane, essentially. It's either weird creatures from another world, or it's a government experiment that is basically just trying to test the human psyche. I stopped caring about halfway through, which is a shame because the atmosphere could have worked. The initial setup is actually fine. It reminds me of a Twilight Zone episode. The problem is it doesn't have enough character depth or enough material to keep going. They had, when they were setting up this, they were setting up the stuff and talking to this character Martin. Oh, he asked about children, and he's asking them a whole bunch of questions, and they said, no, we don't have children yet, and then they end up getting these weird packages that suddenly are delivered. After they try to leave, they can't leave, and their car runs out of gas, and there's no other cars around, there's no other people around, so they're the only ones there, unless these people are just stuck in their houses and they've resigned themselves to the fact that they are part of this experiment. So they end up, having this food delivered in these random packages. They just somehow end up in the street, even though we kind of get how and we kind of don't. And then suddenly there's this baby in the box. What's in the box? Well, apparently Brad Pitt from Seven, it was a baby. Or why didn't you put the baby back in the box? Let's go Con Air on this shit. What I didn't like about this movie was the fact that the characters are just extremely annoying. Yes, there was that sense of isolation, and the couple was clearly fracturing. And then the boy grows up from a baby to a young boy and drives him completely insane. I mean, he does nothing but scream until he gets fed. And then he repeats what they say a lot because he's basically just trying to learn how they are, how to learn how to act like a human. And then he grows up, and eventually, while Tom is digging a hole, he keeps digging a hole. He finds some weird bodies down there after digging this hole and finding like this weird, it's all this dirt and it seems to lead nowhere. He finds this weird body. He's all frightened, and then suddenly he ends up dying sometime afterwards. And then eventually the Gemma character dies after looking through finding out that, their son, this boy that claims to be their son, and she treats him like a son. He's obviously not. It's very dumb, is what I'm really going to say, because, there's these weird portals that she goes through, and she sees all these other experiments and stuff like that, and she basically goes completely insane, and she dies. And the last words to this boy are, "I'm not your fucking mother," which was kind of funny. And then he goes to this realtor place, and he becomes the new Martin, because Martin stands for Martian, in case you didn't fucking get that. Vivarium, if you look up the definition of Vivarium, you'll understand exactly what the movie is. So I wouldn't recommend that you look that up unless, of course, you watch this review, then I just spoiled the whole damn thing. But I didn't look it up. I looked it up like about halfway through when I stopped giving a shit. I go, oh yeah, okay, it's clearly that. The movie's very obvious with its scares. It is meant to, I think, be a dark comedy. The problem is the comedy just doesn't fucking work. I did not like this movie. I did not like this movie at all. And the main actors actually aren't that bad. Jesse Eisenberg's good. Imogen, she's good as well. This movie just didn't work for me. It really didn't work. And I'm going to have to say F. It really is one of the worst movies of the year, which is disappointing because the concept was there. I just didn't buy into it. I just didn't really give a shit about any of the characters. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retland. I'll see you soon.